Welcome back to generic rage smoldering
Prince of
the
Persia
game.
2.
Get it, guys? The fountain has the woman crying.
Welcome back to Prince of Persia 2, Renegade.
Yeah, pretty much.
When the developers probably intended this game to be tear jerking, but it's so bad that even the game
Not
itself
even
is crying.
No, the game itself is
Yes, tear jerking. The tears of the disappointed fans.
Yeah, or the tears of the jerks. I'm not saying the fans of this game are jerks. It's just, well, someone had to make that pun.
Anyway, as mentioned, we need to reactivate the platforms in order to just activate the portal. It's as easy as it can get.
I can tell. I can tell that that Skyward Sword took its parkour from this game apparently.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
More like my time, but yeah.
So now we're going back to the present time?
Exactly.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened, actually. The Prince of Persia turns out to be an alien.
Now, this new power is going to become useful in the late game. Essentially, when you're blocking, you use this to slashing like very fast.
Is it more useful than the sneaking shoes in Wrath of Cortex, at least?
Yes. Sorta. Kinda. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, basically the only purpose those shoes have is just sneaking on the rare
level,
trails
yeah.
of nitro carts.
I
And
mean,
it's like, from what happens, it's only one level or something.
it is kind of cool that, for one of the first times ever in the franchise, you can touch a nitro crate without having to
exploding,
be
yeah.
invincible and not exploding. But there wasn't enough of that.
Or in Crash Twinsanity's case, touching it at all.
Wait.
Basically, even if you have an Aku Aku mask in Twinsanity, touching the nitro cart will kill you.
Maybe
Also,
probably
why
one
do-
of the countless glitches lives.
Also, why do you keep calling it cart instead of crate? Like, I like Crash Nitro Kart as well, but... Ow.
They even got rid of the Aku Aku hints by then.
A lot of shame.
Maybe we needed a Spider-Man like song. It's like
Yeah. Anyway, in the present, as you can see, this area is completely in ruin. However, this in turn has unlocked a passage to another portal that we can use then to travel once again to the past from a different perspective.
Wow.
Yes.
We decapitate him and his head explodes.
Decapitation!
Decapitation and explosion!
At least when Mortal Kombat does this, Mortal Kombat is very tongue-in-cheek about it. This is just pathetic.
Or, again, it's trying way too hard. Also, those screeching sound. God damn it.
Yeah! If someone beat a really hard game and is going, yeah!
But just see webs, heads are exploding. Be excited.
Nah, honestly, I'm just imagining the people here constantly dying to the Silver Surfer NES game.
There you go. What you need to do is to wait for the explosive dogs to spawn and then use them to lure them into the door and then make them explode so they can open the passage. Along with this exciting music.
This is turning into a Kutano Ken. Now we're basically trying to get all our enemies to explode.
Yeah, Jesus. I know I keep comparing the two.
Playing.
I know I keep comparing the two, but at least in DMC there was more going on visually. Here you're just fighting in a plain wooden room.
And to be fair, Dweebs, oh, damn it.
What?
One sec.
Sure.
I think PTO starting again.
Alright.
But yeah.
Right. I don't do it. they had only one game to, you know,
And, it's
break
a, and,
through.
and that was a reboot at least.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's meant
Here,
to be a continuation.
this is the direct sequel, so yeah. In comparison, Devil May Cry 2 kinda did this.
Well, yeah,
It was boring.
and people hate that game, don't they?
Yep.
Mostly it's not that savage, really worse.
But don't
You
you,
can-
don't you see, Jova? It's edgy and avant-garde.
Yeah, but what was with the music?
Fighters. We're getting tutorials this late.
It's for luring the dogs
Dwibs, trust me,
to
this is
explode.
nothing.
It's just
Okay.
Huh?
Like I was saying, Dwibs, trust me, this is nothing. Final Fantasy 14 is still giving you tutorials 40 hours in.
Doesn't Kingdom Hearts? Don't one of the Kingdom Hearts games do that?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Oh, wait. Oh, I get it.
Which-
Yeah.
Well, not really. I mean, if you're talking about the prologue of Kingdom Hearts 2, that prologue lasts like 2 hours at best.
All of the Kingdom Hearts kind of have a bit of wonky prologues, but I think he's talking about the fact that, you know, new mechanics here and there do tend to be added on over the course of the game, which does prompt for
Well-
tutorials.
Well, but that's different though, because those are like you just said, Joe. But those are brand new mechanics that kind of require a bit of training wheels. Whereas Final Fantasy 14, 30 hours in, still gives tutorials. To give you an idea, Dibs, you reach hour 30, and they give you a tutorial on how to switch your party, which is one of the most basic things to do in an RPG
I
that
think it's
anybody with
because
common
that's
sense can do.
I guess it's because it's only at that point where you finally can switch your party, because that's nice.
or maybe not.
Also, that squeaking and turning of the wheel, I know it's supposed to be atmospheric, but it's annoying.
More like it's part of the sound mixing being bad, Trova.
I mean, you know, there's a way to make these sounds actually feel
Again,
like they fit.
whoever did the sound mixing in this game should be fired like immediately. For the
Well,
I mean,
they probably were.
you can say that at least in Sonic Adventure 2, this affected mostly the cutscenes, and that was pretty much it. Here, it's a constant thing, even in the gameplay. It's just so jarring and annoying.
Plus, for the most part, you're running by them so fast you don't even notice, even if they are there.
Also, the ragdoll
God.
physics.
God, the
Oh, God.
glitches!
It's that.
Wow!
It reminds me of that monster getting crushed scene from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh god.
The one where it looks like a PS1 FMV.
Also,
Also,
you just
once
can't handle
again-
the edge, can you, too?
Also, once again, don't worry, the worst of the glitches has yet to arrive.
it's like this game is about of inconsistency. Like sometimes when enemies are abound, it'll have the battle music playing, but other times it just chooses
Yeah.
not to.
Again, a part of a bad sound mixing. I don't know if it was like that even in the PS2 version. I don't know. I probably should ask it to one of my friends who had it. But even if in that case, it just means that this port sucks.
Did that enemy just run away, disappearing into the sand? Like, what happened?
I think so.
You didn't
Run
even
away,
touch him.
Run away.
Well, to be fair, if I saw a crazy guy running at me with 2 swords, jumping around everywhere, I'd be running away scared too.
Yeah, but every other enemy in this game has been bum rushing us. Why is it that that one move just gives up right there to the point where we can even collect his dust like Tio did?
Because he's the wimp.
Also, in case you're wondering, the exploding doggos also damage enemies when they explode, so you can use that to your advantage. Also, it was an horizontal slash. How did you manage to carve it in half from the vertical point?
Maybe the hourglass gives him over space in addition to time?
I don't know. So anyway, this is the mill that was pretty much closed in the past, but now in the present, since it has holes in it and everything, you can use it to propel yourself, to move yourself forward. Or more like upward. There you go. You need to use the specific ledges on top on the mill master, pretty much that's what it is, and wait for a specific moment to get there, to jump on them, and then propel yourself upward. Trust me, it's a pain. Alright, here we go.
Are we there yet?
Jump.
Sorry, Jova,
No.
what was it?
Are we
No,
there
we're not.
yet? I mean, you know, I
No.
hate it when a game brings me to that step, but
Jova, I'll let you do a favor and just quote one of any lines from Viridi from that mission in Kiriko's Uprising. God damn it!
Brilliant.
oh, that sounded like he banged his knee.
Robin, matey, I love you, but this was a miscast.
I get the feeling Robin Eckendaus doesn't
Oh
look back
my
at this
God.
proudly.
This
What?
game sucks away any joy even from playing. I mean, yes, the combat team may be a bit serviceable, but that doesn't save it. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
At least with the first one, there were some quickie moments with Kara and everything. Here is just draining and everything.
Yeah.
Also, now we decide to have ambient music.
Maybe they were just afraid that players would get bored because, yeah, even for ambient music, this is...
Generic, yeah. Well, Jova, you have to remember the glorious spectacular that is the combat music, which is generic grunge metal.
So pretty much most of the budget went towards that, I'm guessing, in the music
And
department.
probably the blood thing, because a lot of things are also recycled assets, as you may have noticed. Well, not necessarily from the scenario, more like from the combat moves and some enemy animations and shapes. So here's the thing now. What you need to do is to jump on the plate and immediately jump back on the ledge while it's still moving.
Of
Yeah,
course.
as you can imagine, it's not pleasant. Don't worry. Well, I think, yeah, I cut away because I tried many times, so I just cut away to the part where there you go, where I managed to do it. Because fucking hell, this fucking game. Even the puzzles are not interesting, and that's a crime.
Be surprised, Taylor. There's plenty of games with quote-unquote puzzles that are not even technically puzzles.
Here's the problem, though. This game is a sequel to a game that pulled off puzzle platforming rather well, so it's kind of extra insulting.
Even
Maybe
in
they
the
just
work,
ran out
even,
of ideas.
hold on, even in the other case, Jova, even if you say one may say that, oh, the puzzle version were not that spectacular, the better reason this should have improved on them. But no.
Exactly. And again, it's not just like, you know, the first Prince of Persia game of this trilogy. I mean, well before this trilogy, this is what the Prince of Persia franchise was best known for since its birth in, like, was it the 80s or 90s?
Yeah, the platforming elements and the puzzle solving.
Yeah.
More than the... There was also combat, obviously, but it wasn't a big focus.
This is like if Sonic Labyrinth was a game made, like, nowadays as opposed to back when the franchise was in its infancy. Like, at least Sonic Labyrinth has the excuse that it was made well before Sonic had established his usual bouts, but this game is spitting into what is traditional of the franchise.
Yeah. Anyway, the dogs, I think in this particular room, the dogs also respawn infinitely, so you just need to jump from the hole where it was created.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, there we go, also showing again those pole choreography, because the prince, of course, can pull that. I mean, it's weird. It's weird because it... Oh, yeah, no, Scooby. Like tears in the rain. It's weird because on one hand, they had the idea of improving the acrobatic skills of a prince in combat with the, you know, arrow fling style, dropping from, you know, cutting away the flag in Alpha, and this pole move thingy. But the rest of the game just makes all of these moot. And it's really a shame. Thankfully, again, the Two Thrones pretty much reaches the best compromise they could have brought. And to be fair, Forgotten Sands does something else completely. So.
Must activate the mechanical tower. I need to find a portal. Whatever disaster.
So, you have to go back into the past in order to get this thing
Wait,
working?
why
Yes,
is
Liz?
it in the previous game the prince sounded British even though he was voiced by an American, Whereas here, the actor's British, and yet he's trying to put on an American accent.
Jova, sorry, Dreams, I have no fucking
Because
idea.
consistency is overrated.
It's like they went
Yeah.
out of their way to be inconsistent.
They even got a British guy to voice him.
And
He's from
wow.
London.
And again, he's even another good voice actor. They just gave him such a terrible direction to follow.
Did somebody
Yeah.
like get the memo mixed up or something and like
And
said
Ubisoft, I howled it out!
Well, it's not even just that, Dwibs. Like, as proven by Metal Gear Solid, Peace Walker, and Metal Gear Solid 5, Robert Atkinson can do an American accent just fine. So I don't understand what happened here.
That actually makes me curious. Tio,
Yes.
when they changed Final Fantasy XIV's voice cast from Americans to from Los
I don't
Angeles
know.
to
I don't know all
London,
the differences. So continue.
Yeah, basically, I was going to ask were there any noticeable voice changes when
Yes.
the voice was moved from Los Angeles to London?
You know Afinod? You know the small elf guy.
I think so. Yeah.
In the original, he's voiced by Sam Riegel. They chose someone completely different from Heaven Sword onward.
Yeah. Well,
I really
Which
don't
is-
understand that. I mean, I don't hate these voice actors. I just wish that if they wanted to go with that direction, we should have started from the beginning instead of just dropping halfway through.
yeah.
it was a bit of a weird move too. I mean, it's one thing swapping voice actors out for new ones in the same area, but it's
It's
another
the
thing
same thing
going
with
into an
Super-
entirely different country.
It's almost as if it's almost the thing that's happening entirely also for the Fire Emblem games. Because due to the strike and everything, they had to change like countless voice actors.
Well, the strike's over now, so
Yeah, but the contracts probably
you know,
still remain.
it was probably too late to redo them by then.
It is
But
because of that
well, I'm glad though that Laura Bailey seemed to have gone in peace with Capcom because she's reprising her role as Black Widow. At
It's
least, so.
wait. She was Black Widow before.
Apparently, in one of the probably in the Avengers cartoon,
Okay, what does that have to do with Capcom?
because she's in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
It's gonna be so weird that she's not the one voicing Chun-Li though.
Yeah.
She's in the game, but she's not voicing Chun-Li. In fact, a lot of, the classic voice actors aren't doing their proper characters. I'm
In
guessing
general,
probably because of the strike.
strike aside, Jova, a lot of voice actor choices for Infinite were weird, mostly for the Marvel side. Chun-Li was an exception on the Capcom side, but on the Marvel side, they decided to just pick random references, like Travis Willingham for 4. I mean, when you get stuff
They
like Fred...
replaced Troy Baker as Nova.
Well, was he in one of the cartoons with a different voice as well?
No, I'm pretty sure Troy Baker was pretty much the voice for Nova at the time.
So I really don't know what happened in that
So when it
regard.
comes to games with comic book characters in them, it's pretty much a lottery of who gets to do what.
Kinda,
Well,
sorta.
honest-
Injustice managed to stay very consistent with the voice actors.
Yeah.
Well, Joker aside, Mark Hamill did not reprise the roles of... It's like that since Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Well, they've been keeping Joker's voice actor consistent across those games.
Yeah, it's just not Mark Hamill, but everyone else checks out. Kevin Conroy for Batman, Georgie Newborn for Superman, and so on.
Honestly, dudes, when it comes to voice actors, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is more the exception than the norm. And it's weird
And
because
even then, it's not even completely better. It's just bizarre to look at from a developing standpoint.
Didn't they put in Dante in Infinite recently?
Actually,
Dante's
it
been in
was
Infinite
already. Yeah.
I think
did,
you're
did he keep his which voice actor did he use for that? His original?
Ruben Langdon. Yeah.
Oh, his one from the third game.
in case you're
From 3
wondering,
and 4.
Dwibs, no, the DL skin of Dante does not change the voice. In fact, a lot of his stuff is kept from original Dante, just adapted to look from, except for his
Devil Trigger. Yeah.
That is odd. But the weird thing is that Dante looks better than Dante in Marvel vs.
Well,
Capcom.
Jova,
Infinite.
if I have to argue, I'd say that's because its model is way simpler than DMC3 Dante.
We'd have
It's
to
not
we'd
just
have
that,
to
but-
render the hair.
It's not just that, but the face, too. The face looks better. And like, a lot of people are theorizing that Dante was originally the base model, especially when
I
you compare
wonder.
the two. But of course, Dante was the one who was the default because, well, yeah, Dante. I mean, the fact that they even made him a skin in and of itself is hilarious.
It was predictable, Jova, as an alternate call. I was really
My only
thinking they weren't gonna do it. I mean, what would you expect? The Diesel costume from DMC2?
Well, okay, my only gripe is that they didn't do the more fitting option. You know, the one everyone's been asking for? Devil May Cry 4's outfit for Dante.
True, or the first one, I guess. Well, they still have planned other DLC skins in the future, so it's probably gonna be down the line anyway.
Yeah. It's that, of all things though, especially given the game's reception already, adding Dante,
Jova, if I had to be honest, the game has only a bright future from this point on,
Yeah.
because even for the Paradox Tefet, because it had reached the lowest point already.
True. And hey, I will give it
And
this.
esports are gonna only make things better anyway, so...
Yeah, the esports.
420 MLG Blaze it, Jova.
It just
Also,
feels...
these assassins are fucking annoying.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have something going on here.
Yeah, that's the one of the other problems of the game. The lack of era and narration makes the game so jarringly quiet. You travel these long spaces with the prince not saying a single word outside those edgy claims like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull your hearts out" or something.
And why not give us a companion? Like, there's already that other girl or something who seems like
Kylina, she's essentially trying to hide from the Empress at this moment, so...
Also, so let me get this straight. In order to activate some gears or mechanism, we have to go back to the past just to get them up and
This is
working.
just this is just a more like a traveling thing, changing from the past to the present. The gist of it, job is that, oh great, the hacker has found me again.
Well, that's easy. Why not just
Gotta go
use...
fast.
So just douse some water on him. And in fact, there's water dripping from here.
Good thing you mentioned, Jova, but we need to save that from the very last part of the game.
I forget.
There we go.
By the way, the Dahar can just teleport across.
What is up with the visual filter?
Yeah, to Sepiaton, it symbolizes that the hacker is close to you.
Did someone in the graphics department piss on this bit or something?
Pretty much.
Also, to remind me, can't the Dahar teleport across those gaps?
It's very inconsistent, Jova. It shows that he can teleport sometimes, but other times he just stands there like a complete idiot.
How does he get across then?
Oh, well, that's the problem. We are just going to travel up him and he's gonna notice us immediately.
Oh, so he kind of gave up already and...
He's
Well-
just standing outside of the waterfall, thinking that we're so stupid that we can come the other way.
So we're supposed to be afraid of this thing. Again.
Well, that's the thing.
I've
It's
already
not...
mentioned that point, Jova.
Be
This game
afraid.
is-
It's not so much of the, scary factor, but the fact that... God, these glitches. The fact that it has been stalking the prince for so many years that he's very stressed out.
I get that. It's just the problem is, if they're trying to make us, the players, fear this, they're kind of
Yeah.
failing. Because, again,
Yeah,
okay,
it's-
so this guy's been chasing him for years. Again, if his weakness is
we go.
water...
If your antagonist is not intimidating, there's no tension.
And again, his weakness is water. Does the prince... No, okay. The prince must know about this.
Well,
Or-
apparently he discovered this just when he came on the island. Remember that?
Wait, what?
Yeah, you remember he mentioned it the first time it happened when he passed one of the waterfalls. So
Wait.
what are you gonna do? And now he's just gonna jump away. There you go. Bye.
Bye. So wait, so you're telling me that the prince has been...
Yes, in all these years, the prince never bothered to notice this.
That his weakness was water. And even still, now that he does know, why the hell is he not using this clearly water-filled area to his advantage?
Not just that, Job. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I would have believed more this weakness if they didn't mention the whole ears part. If it was something that happened, like, say, the other day or something, like 3 days ago, the prince would have been much more unprepared about this and everything. But the problem is, when you take in consideration the ears and everything, and it's the same with Princess Elise not crying for a decade and more. So, yeah.
I'm having trouble decide which is more stupid because I guess, and I would really have to suspend my disbelief.
They're equally in their own respects to Jova.
I hate to say it though, I think I'm gonna give the point to Sonic 06. Like, okay, it's one thing for someone to not cry for all those years, it's another thing for someone to be chased by a killer, not look for any weaknesses, not notice said weaknesses, especially when said weakness is water.
And it's not even mentioning the fact that weakness to water, kind of like the aliens of science, is a very stupid weakness to begin with. I mean, it was
You heard
done
that,
in the
Shyamalan?
it was done in the Wizard of Oz, but that was supposed to be a fairy tale, and it was essentially the climax of the entire thing. So
And it was
I mean,
completely by
there's
accident.
water in the air even.
yeah,
There's something
again,
in water. There's
just
something
when you start thinking about the game, the problem starts happening. Anyway, see you next part for more smoldering with generic rage.
Good
See ya.
night.
everybody.
See ya.